Alrighty guys, welcome to another dive video on the Great Barrier Reef. Here we are at Wild Side. It's just on the other side of, I believe, Flynn we were at, Flynn Reef. So dive site is called Wild Side, and I saw some really cool things. It was just on a fun dive, didn't have a course to teach or anything like that, at least not on this particular dive. Right here I see a nice clam. Um, I was able to, work out my white balance a little bit and actually get, some decent colors in my shots. So some of these clams have really gorgeous coloration and stuff like that. So I'm very glad because we saw some beautiful fish on this dive. A lot of it is wrasse, so wrasse is one of my favorite types of fish, and just because they move so elegantly throughout the reef, and they just have colors that are just absolutely unmatched, such as these guys right here. So I followed a couple of these guys around. They are called leopard wrasse, and ones that I'm following around here and that I found a little bit later in the clip right after this one. I believe all of these guys are female, so not guys actually, and they are a lot prettier than the males, obviously. Um, kind of works in the animal kingdom, but uh, so the females will have a lot of those black and like those black spots and black lines throughout their body. The males, they'll most likely just have slightly stronger hints of green and blue around their edges, and they don't really have those black spots. At least they definitely don't have as many. So um, I don't know if when I'll be able to find some males to show you guys, but it might just be easier to just do a quick Google search. Really easy to find. But yeah, there's a little blenny right there. Not too sure on what type of species that is, but yeah, leopard wrasse was one of our first finds of the day and just started off this beautiful dive with a bang. So leopard wrasse, very, very gorgeous. Then I'll just kind of film this little channel right here. Just got some tang, some parrotfish, and I looked under this little rock. Saw that one zip away, but then we have another one right here and right there. That is a coral trout. Okay, these guys are kind of like an Australian staple. They are sometimes red with blue dots, so they can be like black with white, such as that one right there. Next guy we got here is a 6-bar angelfish. These guys are gorgeous, and this was a big boy. And I mean, he was big. He was maybe a meter tall. Don't know how he fit in this little underpass, but yeah, he was huge, very gorgeous. We have a lot of types of angelfish on the reef here, so I'm sure I'll get to show you guys a lot of types of angelfish as well, but we just saw a bunch of wrasse on this one, so um, yeah, very, very gorgeous fish. Next guy right here is a lizard fish. Alright, so lizard fish, mainly because they'll just cling onto the rocks mainly, and they're bottom dwellers, so they'll just sort of post up on the coral right here. This species in particular is very, very pretty. Got a little too close there, so he just bolted away, and as you can see, he just clinged up onto another rock. But this species is very colorful. I was thinking about making, the lizard fish like the animal of Ishake, mainly because, it's lizard and then fish, but it's technically still all a fish. So me and Jason are working on a middle ground for an animal that would be, like our mascot and stuff like that. Next one we got, one of my favorites actually, just because the purple on it is so pretty. But this is a yellowtail chorus wrasse. Okay, so um, this is only what they look like from about juvenile to like medium mature. So like like teenager stage. They do change up a lot on their coloration, so I'd recommend going and looking at what some look like at different stages of life. And then here I just looked to the right and I saw this big white opening. I was like, what is that? And then sure enough, it was a giant clam, and I mean giant. Like this thing, this is the biggest one that I've ever seen. Was just absolutely massive. I did a here's my foot thing for those that know, and just look at the chasm that opened up as soon as I moved. Yeah, if you know that here's my foot thing, you're a legend. And but yeah, that was the biggest one that I've ever seen. I could literally like fit inside of there like with my scuba tank on. It was massive. Just unbelievable how some of those immortal creatures go. Next, I had a little school of checkerboard wrasse. These guys are very pretty, not as pretty as some of the other ones in my opinion, but still gorgeous, gorgeous sight to see, especially since they're all like schooling together and stuff like that. Over here we have, I believe that's a red bass, and then some other damsels and stuff like that. But those checkerboard wrasse really stood out to me, and I want to get those guys on film. Next one isn't as light, so this is a parasite right there. If you can see on the top left of this big lip damsel's fish head, that is a sea louse, all right, or sea lice. So these are a parasite that will eat the mucus membrane off of fish, and obviously parasitic. It's not healthy for the fish. It can make them pretty susceptible to disease and stuff like that. I don't think they can just kill them off of eating that mucus, but the mucus layer does protect them from waterborne diseases and infection and all that kind of stuff. So not very symbiotic at all, and I saw it on a bunch of big lip damselfish on this dive for some reason. I haven't really seen them at other dive sites. But another thing that is symbiotic, so yeah, we have wild clownfish here on the reefs of Australia. So I don't think I need to tell you guys about the symbiotic relationship between clownfish and anemones, but if you didn't know, basically they work together. So the clownfish will use the anemone as a home to protect from bigger prey, because the anemone has stinging cells that it consciously knows that the clownfish will ward off any smaller predators, and it actually won't sting them with their stinging cells. They're nematocysts. So they work together. We have a cute little family of 4 right here. Yeah, so that was awesome to see. I'm going to get the entire Nemo cast on this channel, I promise. Next, we have an oblique banded sweet lips, or the yellow banded sweet lips. We have a couple types of sweet lips here in Australia, but the yellow or oblique banded is definitely my favorite. It's just the prettiest. The yellow matches so well, and I don't really get a good shot of here, but sweet lips, because they have really puckered lips, like the Kylie Jenner lip challenge or whatever that was popping a couple years back. And then obviously one of my favorites, we had a nudibranch. So yeah, I love nudibranchs. I was trying to think of something to say, but I just love them. These 2 types of species, the one that you guys saw in the last video and this guy right here, are the 2 most common that I see. But I know I've seen 1 or 2 others, so I'm sorry if you see multiple of the same nudibranchs throughout the channel, but I love them, and I'm going to record them every time I get the chance. Also because I'm dating a nudie nerd, so, gonna do whatever I can with that. And last but not least here, I have no idea what this guy is. I tried looking for like 30 minutes on trying to figure out what this wrasse was. So it is a type of wrasse. I'll give you that. I'll also give you some freeze frames for you guys to help identify. Or if you know it, then please let me know down in the comments below, because he was one of the most gorgeous wrasse. I think I like the yellowtail more, but still, this guy was so pretty. You can see all of its bands right there. It was like blue, green, like very tiny hints of orangish red. So yeah, let me know if you guys know what that is in the comments. That's pretty much all I got for you guys today. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll make another video on this dive alone, and I will see you guys in the next one.